Hi students, it's Shayna from EspressoEnglish.net, and today you're going to learn some common English expressions for talking about education. This lesson will also help you put these phrases into practice by asking you questions that use the expressions, so you can pause the video and say your answer or write it down. And at the end of the lesson, I'll explain a very common error in English when talking about what you studied in school or college. Make sure to watch to the end so that you can avoid this mistake. If you're watching this video, it means you want to improve your spoken English. Watching YouTube videos is one good way to do that, but it's even better to take a course like my Everyday English Speaking courses. There are 2 levels of the course, and you will learn hundreds of real English phrases that are useful for daily life. Click on the link in the video or in the description to learn about everyday English speaking or to join the courses. Expression number 1, cover a lot of ground. If a class or a course covers a lot of ground, it means it teaches a lot of material. Here's an example sentence. We covered a lot of ground in the first 2 weeks of the course. We've already finished 4 chapters in the textbook. And here's a practice question for you. What's a class or course you've taken that has covered a lot of ground? Number 2, draw a blank or mind went blank. If you are asked a question and you draw a blank or your mind goes blank, it means you cannot think of the answer. Maybe you actually do know the answer or you have a response, but you just can't think of it in that moment. For example, I totally drew a blank when it came to the final question on the exam. Now put it into practice. Talk about a time when your mind went blank when you were faced with the question. Number 3, on campus. The word campus refers to the property of a college, university, or school. For example, I could say, there are 3 dining halls and 2 gyms on campus. Your turn. Describe a few things that were on the campus of your school or university. Number 4, teacher's pet. The teacher's pet is the teacher's favorite student who always behaves well, studies hard, and tries to please the teacher. For example, Mark always helps clean up the classroom. He's a teacher's pet. What about your experience? Was there someone in your class who was a teacher's pet? Number 5, know by heart. If you know something by heart, it means you have memorized it. You can remember it easily without having to check a reference. For example, we studied that poem so much that now I know it by heart. How about you? What is something that you know by heart? Number 6, goof off or goof around. If students are goofing off or goofing around, it means they are acting silly and not being serious. For example, the teacher scolded the boys who were goofing off in the back of the classroom. Now it's your turn. Describe a time when you were goofing off or when you saw someone else goofing off. Number 7, drop out of school. To drop out of school means to stop attending school permanently. If you just take a break but you intend to go back, then you are taking a semester off or taking a year off. A person who drops out of school can be called a high school dropout or a college dropout. For example, she had to drop out because of some serious health problems. Now put it into practice. What are some reasons a person might drop out of school? Do you ever think it's better for someone to drop out? Let's finish up this lesson by talking about a common error in English, and that is saying, I'm graduated. This is incorrect. A lot of English learners, when talking about what they studied in college, say, I'm graduated in sociology. But that's not the way a native English speaker would say it. Instead, we use the verb graduate only for the event of finishing high school or college. For example, I graduated in 2010. He's going to graduate next year. The whole family attended her college graduation. So graduation is the event of finishing. But when talking about what you studied, we say, I studied, I majored in, or I have a degree in. For example, I graduated in 2010. I studied sociology. I majored in Latin American literature. I have a degree in veterinary medicine. Let's put this one into practice too. If you went to college, what do you have a degree in? Or if you didn't go to college, then imagine you're going to go. What subject would you like to major in? That's all for today. Again, you can learn a lot more inside my Everyday English Speaking courses. These courses will teach you what to say in daily life, when traveling, when socializing, even when arguing or disagreeing. The goal is to help you speak English more confidently in any situation. There are links to free sample lessons from the courses in the description of this video. To finish up this lesson on education, I just want to say that I'm so glad you're learning English with me. There are a lot of teachers on YouTube, and a lot of them are really great. But it's an honor to have you watching my videos and following my channel. So thank you, and I'll talk to you in the next video.